Good morning and good afternoon, Year 9. This is Miss Lawson. I'm going to bring you a little video just because I feel like I need to just kind of have one-to-one interaction. I know some of you are struggling to be able to get to the live lessons, or you're not really feeling live lessons, and I totally understand. And I also want to just kind of recap and just go over my expectations of today's task and also where we've been over the last few weeks. So we are ultimately studying this book for this play for the Scheme of Work, The Crucible. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We can all remember moments in class where someone's taken lead of the reading and it's just been hilarious, or we've had some dramatic moments. I think all of you have really engaged really well in what is, it's not ultimately something that's particularly relatable to you guys, but you have given it 100%. And as such, that means that we've kind of stormed ahead a little, and so we took a few weeks break and we've been kind of deviating off and looking at other things, still linked into the Crucible. And practicing these key skills that you're going to need next year as well. So that's been fundamentally what we've been doing. So just to recap, we finished this. We last read it, a couple of weeks before Christmas, or a week before Christmas, and we then got to about 2 or 3 pages into Act 4. We have that lovely scene just before that where we have John and Elizabeth, and John stormed the trials with Mary Warren and said, my wife is innocent, and the only reason why Abigail is saying these things is because she wants me. We've had an affair. I'm an adulterer, and it backfired because good old Elizabeth denied it. And there's lots of reasons why she would have done that, beyond anything like loyalty, but actually wouldn't have been acceptable to have been an adulterer in those times. So it didn't really help him very much. Once we'd kind of finished that for a little bit, we went and did some creative writing, looking at pictures of the jail cell, and to describe it in beautiful detail. And some of you found that harder than others, but it's a skill that needs to be learnt. And so we were looking at the type of cell where these people would have been held whilst waiting their death, essentially. And linked in with death, we looked at death row, and we looked at people that were being held at death row now. Specifically Joel McKinnon and his poetry, and that's in 2021. He is waiting his death to happen, his death sentence, and so we were looking at his beautiful poem, and with that you were then inspired to perhaps write your own where poetry lives, and finding anywhere where poetry can be, and poetry can be anywhere, which is the beauty of it. Once you've written your own poetry, you've received some whole class feedback on that, and then we were fighting to persuade once again of why we think, or why we don't think, the death penalty should be existing. What the pros and cons of it, and lots of you did some fantastic research on that, and I'm very proud of every single one of you. And like I am with all of it, the writing of the poetry analysis, the creative writing, it was also fantastic new skills and skills that we need to keep practicing. So really well done. Your today's task is going to be to go back to this, and we need to get back on track with this. And the only way we can get back on track in this, because it's been probably like 3 or 4 weeks really since we've really looked at it in great detail, is to be able to recap. And we need to recap the 3 scenes beforehand. On Go for Schools and on Teams, there is a Word document. It's split up really evenly, that each rectangle represents an act. And I would like you to be, really mature in your learning. It's like a combination of your homework, where you'd be set a research task, but also to be able to do some proper, supported work. I will be on Teams on a live kind of remote lesson to be able to support you with that at the same time. But really, ultimately, I'm going to put some links onto Go for Schools for you to click on, and you are then to go together that information and do your own research and fill in those 3 boxes. There are 4 on there. Don't worry about Act 4 because we haven't clearly got there yet. So just the 3 boxes and bullet point, and you're going to be looking for probably 3 or 4 points for each act. Even if it is a new character just been introduced, you would just put that as a bullet point. Try to make sure that it's in chronological order. The websites that I've sent you links to will really help you with that. But I don't want you to cheat. I don't want you to just copy and paste. I want you to really think, because ultimately we are coming to the final end of this act, and we are going to look at more depth of some of the characters as the next couple of weeks come on. And so really you need to be really firm and secure in your heads. Exactly what's led up to it. We're also going to look at tension. We're going to look at how there's dramatic elements to this, and how Miller has used certain techniques to finish the end of each act. It'd be really nice if you could kind of highlight those, but we'll be working on those in the next couple of lessons as well. Like I said, I'm going to be available on Teams during our normal live lessons for you to come and ask for help, but ultimately it is going to be you. If you can't print it off, it's not a problem. You can also edit the Word document on Word if you've got a laptop. If not, you can just do it in a book and clearly define your 3 acts. It has to be clearly defined because it's going to make sure that in your head it's going to just kind of split it up. I'm not a big fan necessarily of charts. I don't really like them per se. So if you really wanted to use a different method to kind of make sure you're documenting what happens in those 3, you can. I did feel like you're perhaps a little too mature for a storyboard, but however you would like to work is up to you. But we do need to make sure we're recapping in on those 3 acts. Okay, I have set you retrieval quizzes. I may well set you another retrieval quiz coming up, but just ultimately just get the facts and figures into your head. Who's coming where, who says what are the key moments. We're not looking for key quotes, just looking for key moments at the moment of each act. And then I want you to upload to Teams for me so I can check, and then we will carry on where we've left. And I look forward to actually finally finishing this book, or this play. Like I said, contact me if you have any questions, but it should all be very self-explanatory. Have a lovely rest of your day, Year 9s, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.